afternoon and welcome to another edition of Prohire Truck TV. This afternoon we're joined by the Nissan E-NV200 A, which in fairness is probably one of the more long established electric vehicles you've found on the UK market today. We'll have a proper look at this little vehicle and give you some good feedback, or some feedback anyway, you decide whether it's good or not. Remember, everything we do here is to try and further the interest in alternative fuels, electric, and something that are interesting to everybody in the marketplace out there. So let's have a look at the vehicle and we can take it from there. So here we go inside the little Nissan, and in fairness it's a reasonably well appointed cab, as most of these vehicles now are, the new modern vehicles. So I think what we're probably better off doing is buckling up and seeing if we can you know, have a see what it does, and I guess from my perspective it's push the buttons and see what happens. So if we start this vehicle up and see what we've got to look at here. I mean, I guess to a certain degree, super dashboard, all digital as you expect. What I like about this, of course, we've got plenty of charge in the vehicle, but what it does tell you on here is not only how much fuel you've got, electric, but what it does actually tell you is if you plugged it in now, how many hours it would take you to charge this. So we've got 117 miles, it says here on the fuel gauge, and on a 6 kilowatt charger it would take 3 hours to fully charge that. But I think that's good information. So let's get this into drive, take the handbrake off, which I seem unable to do on most occasions, and let's see what happens. Off we go. Let's pull ourselves away from Prohire office and let's look at what we do. Now, this little commercial vehicle is one of the most long established in this field at this size, and certainly vast improvements on the very first one we did. I've been in many years ago. Quick, yeah, it's quick and quiet. Not very fast, not like some of the others. Certainly you have to drive this further forward to try and make it do things, but that's good too. It's got a regen ability, which is extremely good, and you can see the power being put back into the batteries. They say it's got a range of 187 miles using regen and round town and so forth and so on. But they're putting it in the heating, and we're going to give that a test and see how we go with that. I'm not convinced, but we'll see. Really quiet, as all electric vehicles are today, and you know, let's face it, we're still green again. You know, another electric vehicle, another day, feeling smug, being green. Let's take this out for a run now, and let's see what we get from it. So we're tootling along here, and as we've moving along, we have been finding myself finding new things about the van. But I have to say, it's a great van. It drives really well, and one of the best drives I've had up to now. And we've driven a lot. The range is, if it's to be believed, and we're going to give that some testing, and we'll come back to you as we move further through the video, and certainly as we go further forward. It's pretty good, pretty good. You know, it's got an eco mode as well as a normal driving mode. It's got regen. The steering is extremely positive. It pulls. It's got plenty of power. So it's quite an exciting prospect. And of course, there's plenty of things we can do with this vehicle too. I mean, one of the most interesting things we're doing with this currently is refrigeration for small hospitals and local operations in London. You know, it'll make a superb fridge vehicle. But of course, there's so many applications you can use this for. And here at Prohire, you know, one of our main key core offerings is full contract hire on all vehicles, of course, from CDVs through to 44-ton articulated vehicles. But clearly, you know, anyone seeing this video today can have this vehicle on a fully maintained contract hire package from the Prohire business. So, you know, think about it. If you need help or advice, please give us a call. And even if you don't go down the contract hire route with us, we will be happy to talk to you about any aspect of electric vehicles, alternative fuels, and how you can take this further forward yourself. So this vehicle is fitted with 40 kilowatt-hour batteries, and not dissimilar to the Mercedes Vito we showed earlier in one of our early editions with 36 kilowatt usable space. Similar in this, however, they seem to squeeze more power out of it, and clearly with a similar sized battery pack, the range is if it's to be believed, double, which is fairly amazing, really, considering apparently all the batteries are the same, which of course they're similar but not. So to enable this vehicle, if you believe them to a WLTP at 187, you know, but even if we get the lower range of 125 miles, it's still far superior to the range given on that. Now, we've been driving for about an hour, and I've covered around 22 miles, which I suppose is between traffic and dual carriageways is probably about right in you know, at 20 past 2 in a busy industrial city. We've used 22 miles of electric, so fairly accurate at that. So the range we had in at 117 at 3/4 of the charge seems to be about right. What we're going to do is run this vehicle from start to flat over the next few weeks, and then see what we get back, and we'll report back to you on that, to give you a better feel for longevity. But from what I'm seeing right now, this is a quality van. It's got a great pedigree, huge history into commercial vehicle manufacturing. What's not to like? So we brought the vehicle back to charge it up. Now, of course, this is the problem that most people are going to come across, especially in afternoons right across the country. And we brought the vehicle back to charge up, and of course, if you can see behind you, all of our charging points are now being used by all these selfish people with electric cars. You know, clearly for me, as we go forward ourselves, more power points are going in, but of course that takes effort, infrastructure, and of course to ensure that they're done properly. Now, we've got some new charging points coming in into April and May this year, because we've got some new electric cars coming as well ourselves, and trying to drive further forward into that whole electric piece. So I can't plug it in, but what I can do is show you where the charging point is, and a quick look under the bonnet, because something interesting I want to show you as well, which I think you may find interesting. I find it interesting. I hope you do too. Quickly look at what we've got here, just on the charging piece. Just like your bonnet, you know, pull it across there, you know, straight in there from a charging point, and that would be just plug in as you would normally with the cars that are in charge. As I said previously, the problem I've got at the moment is they're being used, so you have to take my word for that. However, under the bonnet here, interesting thing to me, and one of the elements that we're working on with refrigeration, of course, is the 12-volt battery system that runs your ancillary equipment from that. And what we're looking at now is taking our refrigerated vehicle units from this battery, as opposed to taking it from either putting ancillary batteries on top of this, which I think is going to be a game changer for a lot of people. So for more information, please contact us here at the Prohire Group. These vehicles are available, fully contract hire, so give us a shout. Guys, hope you've enjoyed our edition on Prohire Truck TV today. We try and keep up with the electric, we try and keep up with innovation, we're trying to keep up with new things to interest you all. Please subscribe if you can, like us if you can, and we hope to see you again in the very near future. Every Friday, 3 o'clock. Safe travels.